After Dark Stories, Ep.6, Fantasy, The Ferryman's Last Night. He had no name anymore. Names are for the living, and he had not been that for a very long time. He was simply the ferryman, the one who stood at the black water's edge with a long pole and a boat worn smooth by 1,000 years of crossings, and waited for whoever the river sent him. Tonight, the river sent him a woman in a gray coat. She sat down in the bow as they always did. He pushed off. The far shore was a smear of pale light in the dark. Then she said, "I'm not supposed to be here." He had heard variations of this before. Most souls said something in the first minutes. They were disoriented, untethered, still wearing the shock of their last moment like a coat they hadn't realized they'd put on. They said, "This can't be right, and I wasn't finished, and there must be a mistake." He let them speak. By the time they reached the far shore, most had found a way to acceptance, or at least to silence. This one was different. She turned and looked at him directly, which they rarely did, and said, "I can prove it." He kept poling. The black water did not hurry for anyone. She reached into her coat pocket and produced a small object, a watch. It was still running. He could see the second hand moving, a thin red line sweeping its circuit in the dark. She said, "The dead don't keep time. You know that." He did know that. It was one of the first things that stopped. The pulse, the breath, and then almost simultaneously, time. The dead arrived at the river having already shed the present tense. They had no watches. They had no heartbeats. He looked at the watch. He looked at her. She said, "I fell, from a height. But I didn't land. I came here instead, and my body is still up there, on the ledge, heart still running, lungs still drawing air. Barely, but still." He considered this for a long moment. The far shore came no closer. The river, when it needed to, could take its time. She said, "This has happened before." It was not a question. He said, "Once." His voice had not been used in some years. It sounded like a door in a house no one visited. "Long ago. A soldier, arrow through the lung. He arrived here still breathing. I sent him back." "What happened to him?" "He lived another 40 years, died in his bed, surrounded by grandchildren." He paused. "He did not thank me." "Why not?" "He said the 40 years were the harder thing." She was quiet for a moment. The watch ticked between them. She said, "Send me back." He studied her, the specific quality of her presence, the warmth that still clung to her that the properly dead did not carry. She was not wrong. She had come too soon. He turned the boat. The river resisted. It always did when asked to work in reverse. But the ferryman had been poling these waters for 1,000 years, and he was stronger than the current. When the near shore came back into view, she stood up, coat still gray, watch still ticking. She said, "Thank you." He said, "Don't. You have not seen what I'm returning you to yet." She stepped off the boat and was gone. He turned back toward the far shore and waited for whoever the river sent him next. Was he right to send her back? And what do you think she returned to? A rescue? Or the harder thing the soldier warned him about? Leave your answer below. The ferryman, I think, would be curious to know.